Alrighty, so I'm Jen. I am Dad's daughter, obviously. I don't know if he already mentioned me already. A little bit about me before we get into it is I am a food scientist. I work in the spice industry. It's really cool, very rewarding. What else can I say about me? I live in the city. That's part of the reason why I wanted to get a Vespa. Mostly it's just because zipping around the city, like, city parking is hard to come by. So obviously motorcyclists never have a problem with parking. So it's a perfect vehicle just to zip around, get your groceries done, get your errands done, and plus it's just fun and you look cute as heck doing it, especially on a Vespa. I don't know if I mentioned, I have a Vespa Sprint 49cc. She's got a little pep to her step, but obviously she's no Harley or anything. So I am a beginner. I am an infant to riding, essentially. I always kind of had a fear of motorcycles. I always got nervous whenever my dad or my brothers like left to go on a ride, just because it's not their riding abilities that I'm concerned about. It's the other people that are on the road, because obviously it's no secret that some people just need to be retested to get their driver's license, and there's a lot of scary drivers out there. So but yeah, I'm an infant to riding. This is about my 8th time on the Vespa, so it's really like my 8th time on like a motorized 2-wheeled vehicle ever. So, but it comes naturally, it takes practice. Part of the reason why I didn't, because all my family, all my brothers, even my mom had a motorcycle. They're all riders, but I never got into it just because out of fear. But you know what? It's something that I've always wanted to do, and if I'm gonna not do something out of fear, even though I want to do it, that's just silly, and that's no way to go about life. You gotta do things that you want to do and not avoid things because you're scared of them. Just a little bit of philosophy for ya. So one thing that I need to work on is my turns. We're just gonna try. The best way to work on your turns is having a very not so crowded neighborhood with lots of cul-de-sacs. Unless there's a 10-year-old's birthday party, in which case there is. And in that case, it's very crowded. But, alas, we shall persevere. But yeah, it was really refreshing to hear when I was getting all my gear. I was talking to a woman who has been riding for 30 years, and it was really refreshing hearing her stories of her mistakes and where she went wrong, and she told me all these anecdotes so I could avoid the same mistakes. Which was really refreshing. And I think that I'm not as familiar with the motorcycle community, but it was really refreshing how she was so forthcoming about her experiences as a new rider. And so if there's any advice that you would give to new riders, sound off in the comments below. Let us know. Give me some advice. I'll be reading the comments on this. More specifically, if there's any if there's any advice you'd give towards a woman as a young rider too, that'd be great. But I'll take any advice of what I could get. Right now, it's just I need to grow comfortable on this. But okay, I'm gonna practice a full stop, because if you don't practice the traffic laws now, you're not gonna be able to obey the traffic laws later when they actually matter. Not that they don't matter now, but you know, we're in the suburbs. We're not in city traffic, so yeah, I work in the spice industry. It's really cool, really rewarding seeing the stuff that I work on in my lab. People are able to go out and eat, so that's always a fun aspect when you get to see the work that you do go into the community, go into commerce. But I don't know if I said this already, but one of the main reasons why I wanted to get into riding, here, got that crosswind. Let me go ahead and turn left here. One of the main reasons that I wanted to get into riding is that I needed an activity that I could just kind of go blank on. Just kind of more of a meditation activity, because riding on a motorcycle, Vespa, whatever your vehicle of choice is, forces you to be in the present. And there's some activities that I've tried doing, like journaling and art and whatnot, to try to force myself to ground myself in the present, and sometimes it's just not my thing. And I still feel that I'm in my head in a sort of way, but and I'm not fully grounded. But with riding, you're forced to be mindful. You're forced to practice mindfulness, whether you like it or not, because if you don't, your safety is on the line. And that's another reason why I wanted it. Plus, it looks cool. I feel cool. I look cool. I'm dressed all in black. I feel like a little spy kid, if you remember that movie. I feel like a spy or a Charlie's Angel or something. Yeah, let's go in the parking lot and let's practice tight turns. Gonna put our turn signal on. Gonna try to avoid these potholes. Ooh, it is so windy. I had a AP biology teacher that had put a sail on her Prius, because she's eco-friendly, or tries to be. She put a sail on her Prius so that on windy days, when the crosswind is just right, she gets 50 miles to the gallon. So if you see a Prius going down the side of the highway with a huge sail on it, that is my old AP biology teacher. God bless her. Yeah, definitely feeling more comfortable on the Vespa. Like I said, need to work on my turns a bit. As a scientist, and just as a general overthinker, riding was something that was very difficult for me to get into, just because it's like, for example, for turning, what ratio of turning do I want to do? Is it like 40% I turn with the handlebars and 60% I lean with my body? Is it 50-50? You know, I like specifics. Or just like the potholes and pebbles in the road. You know, it's kind of like when you're braking for birds. You try to brake for birds when you can, but if braking for a bird would cause a collision, like a rear-ending accident, so it'd be more harm than good to move out of the way, then you just hit the bird. But in this case, the pothole is the bird. Is it best to just go over it and your bike can handle it? Or is it best to avoid it? And it's just those little nuances that as a rider that... Oh, didn't like the feeling of that one. I think I overthought that. Overthought it way too much. But yeah, it's just those little nuances that it's just going to take time, but... yeah, any advice in the comments below would be great. There is a child. I'm not going to turn that way. A child. There's 2 key principles to riding, I think, in my short time. It's vibing, where you're just chilling, you're enjoying yourself, and anticipation. Anticipation being the most important thing. Anticipating people whipping out in front of you, anticipating random children running in the road. Same thing with driving, you know, the same principles apply. But with driving a scooter or a motorcycle, whatever, it has different consequences sometimes, because it's easier to manage those risks when you're protected around a 2-ton vehicle versus when you're riding and you're just exposed to the elements. So yeah, I want to be a scooter girl. I want to be I just want to be one of those people that in my neighborhood you just see me zipping around, I'm like, oh, that's the scooter girl. I'm like, yeah, I'm the scooter girl. I want to have a shtick, basically. Oop, that was a large bird. It wasn't a plane, it was a bird. It was freaking huge. Did you see that shadow? That was a bird. There's a shadow. Yeah, Dad likes to incorporate a lot of stoicism into riding, a lot of philosophy. He has a really interesting take on it. And I didn't appreciate it fully until I started riding myself, I think. What a beautiful day. It's 76 degrees here in the Midwest. No complaints. My nostrils and eyes are absolutely being obliterated, and I mean just obliterated with pollen. Just like a punch in the face. But you know what? We need pollen for the bees and for fruits and vegetables and whatnot in our flowers. So this is a sacrifice I am willing to take for Mother Nature. Not that I had a choice. We're zipping around. We're avoiding potholes because I'm still scared of potholes. I guess part of me is still scarred from the time that, well, I'm scarred from 2 incidences. Incidents, yes, that's the word. And that was when I was in the 2nd grade, I tried eating a churro while riding a bicycle at the same time. And I was a late bloomer, so I did not learn how to ride a bicycle until the 2nd grade. I was kind of late in the game. Had a horrible accident, still have the scars on my knees this day, or on my knee. And then the other one was from when I was riding my little brother's dirt bike, and mud had there was tire marks in the mud, or tire treads, and it had formed like these parallel mountains. Like the mountains were like, there was the road that I was driving on, the dirt path, but the ridges were parallel to me. And so I rode parallel, and so instead of perpendicular, and I just absolutely wiped out. Like, yeah, I wiped out. I did not see daylight for a split second. And so obviously I was just kind of being dumb and I was wearing all the protective gear, thankfully, obviously, because my dad's a huge fan of that. Safety is sexy. But yeah, I just don't want to make any of those mistakes again, especially on the road, because if you fall off your bike, that's not the end of it. There's still oncoming traffic. So yeah, we zoom in. We're gonna do another lap here. We're gonna use our turn signals like good Samaritans. We are Samaritans of the law, citizens of the law. Yeah, very fortunate to where these roads in this neighborhood are pretty newly paved. So it's gonna be an adjustment going elsewhere and adjusting to the shitty Kansas road. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to cuss. The poopy Kansas roads, because where do our tax dollars go? I don't know, but it sure as heck ain't going to the roads. And that is my rant for the day. That is as political as I will get about it. There's too many potholes. And you know what? They're working on them. I get it. They're working on them. But I feel like sometimes the potholes are better than after they fix them. After they fix them, it's like worse. But only on occasion, but like still. We're zipping away. Wait, this is where I done goofed last time. There we go. Okay, good on each side. We will proceed with driving. Oh, I got the E. Alright, we're going back home. We are low on gas, and as am I, because I need a sandwich as soon as possible. ASAP as possible. So yeah, this was the perspective from a beginner, an infant to riding. If you guys have any tips for new riders, please sound them off on the comments below. I'd love to read through those. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Maybe I'll pop up on this channel a little bit more later on. I could take you around the city once I get my scooter down there. But yeah, that's a wrap, I think. So I'll talk to you guys later.